Hey everybody, it's time for another wonderful edition of the Jersey Tales.
Yeah.
Ew.
Hey,
Awesome.
we're getting a little bit of cheering. Oh, what we got at the show? We're back. We've taken a little bit of a break, and so now we're back. And well, who's all made it back? Let's see. Dingles is here.
At least the angel got the right Hernandez this time.
Silox is here.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, we've got Blunt.
Howdy, partner.
And it's me, Red the Ram, or Aquino. Welcome, everyone. All right, so up first, we've got the big news. So apparently, Dan Hurley looked at that big old pile of money and all the mess that comes with coaching LeBron James and was just like, I'm just going to keep my other big pile of money. Because he's turned down the LA Lakers to be their head coach, and he's going to stay at UConn, and he's going for a three-peat.
Yeah, no, it's a smart move. I think he looked at the situation of, hey, you're going to have a roster with LeBron, with an aging LeBron James and AD who cannot stay healthy, and after that, it's what Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and whoever else. And plus, you're going to be in the Western Conference, and to rebuild that roster is going to take years before they're even competitive. So it's easier for him to just stay at UConn, be the second most powerful person in that state, and go for a three-peat. So I think this was a great opportunity for him to secure some kind of increased pay from the state of Connecticut. So
But it didn't seem like it was that much, right? Like, because I think the rumored price was like 80 million.
well, no, this. I don't know who it was, but there was a report out later on in the day after this had dropped that UConn was going to up his salary to keep him, in place for long term, which makes sense, right? You don't want someone else trying to poach your coach with an enticing offer. But even then, the Lakers offer, given how the Lakers are currently structured, it's kind of a lowball deal. As I said in one of the chats, you at least want to pay me 100 million and give me some kind of ownership stake in the team. If you want me to leave my comfortable position, in Stores, Connecticut, to come coach this tire fire, anchored by player coach LeBron James. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what's that? 7 years, 11 million a year. That's what 77. I'm not good at math. That's not a lot.
Terrible knowing your
So,
line of work. We're keeping that internal. I think the thing that kills me though is like I was expecting the $100 million guaranteed money to come into play because UK was rumored to be offering up the 80, and he was like, "No, I'm fine here." So I mean, and of course, I could understand why he would decide to stay in Connecticut with his millions of dollars and enjoy their tennis courts and their the sweater across the waist outfit, the whole thing there they got going on up there, as opposed to moving to Lexington, Kentucky, and showing up and not only being the guy with the most amount of money in the bank account, but also most amount of teeth. I could understand that, but the amount of fishbowl drama that comes with going out to either LA or Lexington. Yeah, I mean, I stayed in UConn. Why not? Give me that guaranteed money. I'll chill. I'll relax. It'll be fine. Plus,
yeah,
he's
no,
crazy.
I don't think he's crazy. I think this is a
Have
wise
you seen him
decision.
coach? Have you seen him coach?
He's intense.
Yes.
He is extremely intense, but he gets results, so it works, and people are, I guess, okay with it because of it works.
You know
You
what
know
crazy that gets results is called?
what?
Eccentric.
Okay,
Crazy
that's
that
not a
doesn't get
word I would.
results is, Elon or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Eccentric is not a word I'd use to describe Dan Hurley. He seems very methodical in what he does. He reminds me of a much more animated Bill Belichick. They're both kind of high strung in their own special ways. I guess Dan
What?
Hurley more so.
Let's be honest. I've got houseplants that are more animated than Bill Belichick, but like, I mean, that's not much of a stretch. But I mean, I get what you're saying. But again, I watched him coach this year, and like he just freaks out over there. And like it's not because like again, I watch a lot of college ball, and it's not like Patino getting angry because somebody's out of position. He'll just go nuts. He'll just go bonkers. It's not quite like. Coach Miller sitting over there like sweating up a storm or anything, but like he's just nutty. But it gets results. So again, I'm going back with eccentric. He's not crazy. He's just it works.
It does work. Also, he turned down. So Kentucky reportedly pursued him aggressively. Their offer was $11 million a year. He would have become the highest paid coach in college
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
He turned that down. Then
Yep.
goes and turns down the Lakers offer. Like, who can say that with a straight face? Yes,
But
I
meets
turned
with them.
down Kentucky. I mean, it's a courteous thing to do. Maybe he wanted to hear him out. Some would say maybe this was also some kind of power play to strong arm UConn into paying him a lot more for his services. I don't know, but
Oh
at the end of the
wait.
day, what's up?
But what if it's all recruiting play? Oh yeah, don't go play for Kentucky. I turned them down. There's a reason why I turned them down. You don't want to go there. Yeah. By the way, I'm also the same guy that turned down LeBron. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna come play for me. If he had no plans of leaving anyway, that's a pretty strong recruiting angle.
Yeah, no, that is. I didn't think about it like that. I didn't look at it from the recruiting angle.
I mean, as crazy as he is, I mean, that could have been his whole goal. He's like, well, screw it. I'm going to get a bigger payday, and I'm going to make my job easier by making it easier for these kids to come play for me. I mean, that's all I can think of.
If that's true, that's a really smart play from him. Also, real quick, I do want to say this about the Lakers. That is one of the worst jobs in the NBA. Next to
Nope.
Washington and Charlotte, it's one of the worst jobs. You are
No,
constantly
yes. Yeah, I know
under
exactly.
pressure.
Yep.
And factor in LeBron James is there, and we don't know what he's going to do. There may be some. Personally, this is my suspicion. I like to think Rob Pelinka made the stipulation that, hey, if you're going to come coach, you have to take Bronny so LeBron stays. I obviously can't prove that, but it wouldn't shock me if that was brought up as a stipulation on if you're coming to coach. So,
Which you said that he's the second most powerful person in Connecticut.
yep, after the governor, yeah.
Yeah, well, in Kentucky, it would be the number one most powerful person. He can literally sit there and be like, I don't like the governor. And be like, well, we're getting a new governor next year. I can tell you that. You can put money on it now.
Yeah, I think people forget, for like vast majority of states in this country, the highest paid public employee is the sports coach.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
So
power. I mean,
well, depends on the state. Because in Maryland, no, that person does not have any power whatsoever. I'm guarantee you though, like when Saban was at the top of his game, he had a lot of power and influence in Alabama. In some of these states,
Absolutely.
they do.
oh yeah, if you are at the top of your game or you're on your way to the top of the game, and you're the head basketball coach of the University of Kentucky, and you go up to this podium and say, "Hey, now I know if Big Blue Nation wants to win us a championship, they're going to vote for this guy." That person's becoming governor. Doesn't matter if it's like the straw man from the Wizard of Oz. That person is being put in charge of the state for at least 4 years.
Yeah, and not saying Dan Hurley would do something like that, but given how Connecticut is and how important UConn is to that state, he's right there. So they're gonna give him pretty much anything he wants at this point to keep him around.
It reminds me of like Georgia with Kirby Smart. I mean, like he brought them back to, like a functional team. That's why they offered him what he did after he took him to a natty and won it. So
I mean,
obviously you want to
yeah,
offer him the way he wants to stay there and all that stuff.
yeah. I would say Alabama and Georgia are better analogies versus UConn, just because. I mean, there's UConn fans in Connecticut, but like you go, it doesn't matter what house you pull up in the state of Kentucky. They are pulling for one of two teams, and they're going to tell you which one of those two teams it is, and they're not going to like you if you're pulling for the other team. I mean, it's just the way that it works here, and I know that it's like that in Alabama. You know,
Oh,
you're pulling
absolutely.
for one of two teams. You're either Auburn or you're for Bama. Roll
And
Tide.
here it's Tech or Georgia.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like even people who don't like sports, they have a team, and they know
Yeah.
their team, and they have a wall about that team that even though they don't like sports, they have a wall.
Oh, I know someone.
Yep. You got people who didn't
Several.
even go to the university, but will, are
There are people who
diehard
can't
fans.
spell University of Kentucky. No, there's people that can't spell UK that are diehard University of Kentucky fans. They have
Them going
managed to add
Kentucky
an
fans.
extra syllable into the word cats. It's Cayut. And I kid you not, they do.
Oh, I believe it. Kentucky fans are wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kentucky basketball fans are there's something else. I have not had a good experience with Kentucky basketball fans. Let's just put it that way.
I can only imagine the trash talk that comes from their
Oh
mouth.
man, that's why
Ugh.
it's so good to see them, fall from grace. It's like this is good.
It's nice when
mean-
it's cyclical like this, right? You just like them. Just no, you guys need to keep them just one more year. One more year. And of course, then we like go off and stink it up too, even worse. And it's like, yeah, look at that, Kentucky. We're even better at sucking than you are.
Well, did you hear real quick? Did you hear Kenny Payne actually said that he thought Louisville was on the right track?
Well, yeah, he doubled his wins. That's it. Like, look, if you go up to the NBA and be like, look, I had 100% growth. Well, that's pretty good. We won't talk about where I started from. Oh, all right. Moving on. I think he made the right decision, and I'm terrified to sit here and watch this because I was actually hoping that him leaving was going to reset college basketball.
Yeah,
There's going to be a big old reset because Kentucky's got new coaches, Louisville's got new coaches. Like, let's go reset. UConn have a new coach, bloop. And then we're back to the rat race of building the super team, and then the next super team will rise up to top, and then the NBA will come in and whoop, take the head coach away. Oh, but no, we don't get that this year. Instead, we're stuck with basketball's more eccentric Nick Saban.
well, enjoy that three-peat. It's coming.
Speaking of basketball, Jingles has submitted a story.
Yes.
Unless Jingles died.
No, I'm not dead yet. But Team USA decided to leave off Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team over the weekend, and I don't have a problem with it.
What was the reasoning? Because I did not get to read that because I've been following basketball news all weekend.
It's just, hey, we already found the 12 best female players from the WNBA, and we don't technically need her. That's basically what it is. But she's number 13 on the list to be on there if someone gets hurt.
Oh, so she's still practicing with him. Yeah.
No, but remember what she said before the Final Four? If I make it to the championship game, I'm now going to training camp. What happens? They made it to the championship game, so she didn't go to training camp.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that got lost in the shuffle.
Why was there training camp when? Well, I
That
guess
was
they were probably never expecting someone like her to
no,
come
they
out
would
of the
do the
NCAA.
training camp before the WNBA season because the WNBA season is going to be paused during the Olympics.
Right. Okay. They're starting the season early.
No, they already started the season.
Yeah.
It always starts around the summertime.
So that's kind of crappy, though, right? Because like if you're an NCAA superstar, it's going to screw up your professional chance.
She's been playing basketball non-stop. She has not had an actual off season.
Yep.
And
Well,
what bothers me is
Go ahead.
this: the media wants to get on their high horse and say, "Oh, Caitlin Clark's the greatest. She broke the Pistol Pete's record." Okay, that's what she did in college. Congratulations! Here's a participation trophy. You're in the WNBA now. Prove yourself. You're a rookie. What happens in the first game? 9 turnovers. Okay, that's just a rookie stats. Oh, later on down in the season, oh, you drop 30 as on a rookie record. Cool. And then you find out that you did not get into the WNBA, and the whole entire media say, "Oh, this is atrocious. They did the wrong thing. They don't want to expand the sport." Have you looked at her stats? Have you?
No, I haven't because we haven't done the show in a while. So I assume they're not great.
I'll just say this. I feel so conflicted about this because women's sports deserves a platform, the same platform as male sports. And I said this in the chat. It's getting that for 2 reasons, and one of them is very nefarious. The other is because of one person. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's getting exposure. And obviously, a lot of that is because of Caitlin Clark. Like, we can't deny that Caitlin Clark does not have this effect. She has pulled in a lot of fans who historically have ignored women's sports and the WNBA. At the same time, you can't just give her this easy path. Okay? You can't just give her an easy schedule, stash her on, the women's basketball Olympic team just because of all she's done. She has to still prove her worth. MJ did not come into the league with a crown on his head. All right?
Right. And he was not.
LeBron.
LeBron, LeBron is different. But even then, there was still, he wasn't, given everything with a silver platter, right? Even then, he still had to take his lumps. She has to take her lumps too. It's not, this isn't just we're going to do whatever you want because you are the one person that's making us relevant. Because like it or not, that's not fair to everybody else who's already there who's had to bust their ass. So on the one hand, I like that she's taking her lumps and people are quote unquote hard on her. At the same time, the WNBA needs to learn how to market her better. They are marketing her poorly. It pains me to watch because they haven't done a good thing. They haven't done a good job at it. And I don't want them to let this opportunity, just flow through their hands because this is gold. You struck gold with Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink. You have Asia Wilson there. You still have Diana Taurasi and a whole bunch of other stars there. You should be able to market that to a wider segment. It shouldn't just be Caitlin Clark and then everybody else.
Yeah, it's kind of the country is so hungry for good women's sports, like the exciting women's sports. I mean, I remember when the women's soccer team was on fire and it was everywhere. It still kind of is, but like that's kind of trailing off. And now everyone was looking into Caitlin to be this savior of women's sports, as if it needed sport or if it needed saving. I don't know. Like you got the Williams sisters, right, playing tennis. That was such a huge thing. and there's just this big, massive vacuum right now in women's sports, and I just don't know what they're going to do to fix it. I don't know if it's tweaking the rules to make it more exciting. I don't know.
I definitely think that she should be recognized for what she's done already in a way, but like in the college setting, because she did all that in college. Now it's the women's NBA. I definitely think that she should be recognized for that, and she has made a difference, and it's a
She has
good
been
one.
recognized for it though.
And, like, yeah, I know, but my point where I was coming with is like there should be set differences with her being recognized as making a difference in sports and like or just like in women's NBA in general, or just women's basketball in general, versus actually being a solid player in the women's NBA. That those should be set aside for sure. I mean, obviously, not everybody's just gonna come in like a professional sport, just like right off the bat. Even if they're solid in their college years, and just all of a sudden just start popping off, just like almost like a just one of those high expected rookie stories always are. But
Very few, very
very
few
few.
have been amazing in college and then immediately set the world on fire. They'll usually have a pretty decent rookie season, and then it's off. I mean, you look at Donovan Mitchell, right? Like he was pretty decent his rookie year, and then has set the world on fire. And he was our one superstar on a team of nobodies.
That's just kind of like why it's like when I saw so many like other women's NBA players like already saying stuff about Caitlin Clark, and I was like, it's just the whole thing where you can't diss on a rookie just for them having like their rookie season.
Well, also, again, she's got not only does she have the fact that now she was a big fish in a small pond. Now she is in a much bigger lake. And so she's still trying to figure that out. Plus, she's got all the pressure of everyone else going like, you're the future of women's sports. And it's like, that's a lot of freaking pressure for one person to carry.
Men have done the worst thing. They've imported their toxicity into women's sports, and I do not like it. Like, leave that shit for the NBA. Excuse me. Leave that stuff for the NBA, please, or NFL.
Just let Stephen A. Smith go and cover women's sports for a year, and just.
God, even he's a fool with that. he got. I forgot who the woman's what her name was, but she checked them.
Yeah.
On yeah.
First take.
Yeah, that was good to see.
All right, moving on. Ridiculous contracts, and one reason why I stay up awake at night. Justin Jeffries has gotten a contract done. How big of a contract? Well, it's I don't understand it. It's massive. I don't know how we're going to pay Chase now, because Chase specifically was waiting to see what Justin Jeffries was going to get paid. And now he's going to be like, me too. All I'm thinking is like, well, T, I love you. We're going to have to sell you at a bake sale in order to be able to cover Chase. What was the breakdown of his full
4 years, 140 million, 35 per, 88 fully guarantee up front.
Yeah. 80, it was the 88 up front.
Now here's the worst thing. With that 35 million now, it would be the highest paid contract by wide receiver. If you do go off by the top 5, that is average for the franchise tag. It's now officially 30 million to franchise tag a wide receiver next season.
Yep.
So Jamar Chase really wants that contract now.
Yeah. And Burrow's going to make sure he gets it. But that means we 100% lose T.
But the cheap Bengals keep him?
Yeah, because Burrow wants him.
especially with Burrow's contract kicking in at $53.5 million.
Yeah, Burrow will get. Well, I mean, we won't pay him. I don't know what the number is going to be. It will be close to Jeffries, but Chase wants to stay playing for Joe, and Joe wants to keep Chase. And I have a feeling the organization is going to work something out there. Now that does mean we're losing T, because I don't think we can afford to tag T now. Which the original rumor out of the front office was they were just going. He asked for a certain amount of money up front, and or as a contract, and he wanted it all up front, guaranteed money. And they just decided they were just going to tag him 2 years and give him that contract in that format. But now that's out of the way. So let's see. I guess we're gonna keep moving on.
Oh no, I had something.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to give Jingle some time to talk. But this is a real quick. This is another one of those market correcting contracts that you see every once in a while in the NFL. So I'm not sure what Jamar Chase is going to ask for, but it's going to be at minimum on the same level as Justin Jefferson. It has to be.
Yeah,
I don't know if the
that's
Bengals
that's
can
why
do
he's
it,
waiting. Yeah. Well, I mean, they can. They absolutely can.
Will
But
you?
we're losing. We're going to lose T. Unless the two of them somehow work out a deal where they're going to be here long term and make a bunch of money. I don't know. That's the big question. Would we pay Jamar Chase? The answer is yes. Would we pay Jamar Chase and make sure that T is covered? No. I don't think we will.
Well, I mean, is losing T Higgins that big of a downgrade for you all, where you can't replace him in the draft?
I don't know. We brought in some talent. It's just gonna be it. We've got a year to figure it out, because what ends up happening is the same problem that happens when you have a dynamic duo, a quarterback that's a superstar and a wide receiver that's a superstar, is they'll just get shut down because they'll just get double teamed every single time. So you don't have a secondary weapon that's at least 98% as good as your primary weapon, you're screwed, because they've just taken away your one-trick pony. And I mean that's part of what made our Super Bowl run a thing, right? He had all those weapons. He had weapons deep. He had weapons in the middle, and so even though he was on his back half the time, he was still able to keep going, because he had targets that he could get the ball to. And the less targets that he has available that are reliable, it's going to be a problem. Though maybe now that he'll have more time to throw, maybe it won't be a problem. We'll find out that, as long as he can stay upright for longer than 3 seconds.
According to Spotted Track, he's market value is at $30.5 million. So you're looking at a 4-year, $107 million contract. That's what you're looking at. I know you're probably going to ask more, either in bonus or guarantee, so you get to offset the money for the cap. But you're looking at paying between 30 to 32 for Jamar Chase.
I don't know if we'll do guaranteed money. Like, that's always our Achilles heel. We just don't have the capital for it.
The best one would be 5 for 155 with a salary of 32, like I said.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet if we can get him for 32 a year. That's basically what we're anticipating paying T.
I mean, like I said, he still haven't signed his franchise tag, which is at 21.8, and you still got Burrow on for 29.7 for this season. Then when next year hits, that'd be 46.2 for Burrow, and the 21.8 for Chase on his 5th-year option. So when his new contract officially hits 2026, you got 48.2 on Burrow, and you're looking at 32 to 33 on Jamar Chase. So that's almost 80 million, 75 million just for 2 players.
Yeah, but by that point, the cap's gonna do what the cap did this year, and we're looking at $1 billion cap team.
We ain't gonna have $1 billion cap team.
We'll see. That's the reason why they're playing all these games in South America and in Europe.
And they're already talking about it in 18.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yep, it's already in the talks. They were started talks to at the owners' meeting in Nashville a couple weeks ago.
Can we go back to 16? That was such a nice number.
Can we play football back in America? It was so much nicer.
You didn't want to
All right,
play in
so-
Brazil?
Especially them being locked up in a hotel for a week and can't wear green.
Yeah. And aren't both teams green? The ones that are down
Yes.
there,
Yes. That's why you saw the meme of the Packers wearing their old 1930s jersey and the Eagles yellow sky blue jersey they wore in the 03-04 season.
I came back from Macon this week, or I guess it'd be last weekend-ish. I don't know. It was recent, depending on when this gets published. And while I was there with a good friend of mine named Danny, and Danny is a massive hockey fan and had me sit down and thoroughly enjoy watching. I think it was the Rangers playing the Dallas Stars. Is that correct, Lexi?
You were talking about 2 different conferences right there.
All I know is I'm supposed to really hate the Rangers, and that the Dallas Stars were okay.
Those are 2 different conferences.
You're talking
Right.
about the Rangers
But they're
fans this
play-
game.
Yeah, because it was back and forth. Because we watched multiple games, so it was like every night at 8:00, the con stopped, and we had to go watch angry Canadian soccer. And so we did, and it was fun. And I think I understand at least the sport. Now I still haven't picked a team or anything, which knowing my luck, it doesn't go well.
Your team would be the Columbus Blue Jackets is your closest team.
That doesn't mean nothing.
You're
See,
the
I thought-
closest to it.
See, I tell Lexi the same thing because they want me to be a Capitals fan, and I'm like, well, no.
Look, there's all sorts of research that goes into it. I got to find out how cool are their jerseys, how cool is their mascot,
Yeah,
how
you
cool
got
is
a point there.
their art on the ice floor.
Yes, Alex. What team would be in New Orleans if you wanted to root for the hockey team that's coming soon to New Orleans?
Look, there's no hockey team that's coming to New Orleans. That's oh God.
I'm waiting for the Thrashers to come back so I can actually start watching hockey. Because, Lexi's over here trying to get me to become a Capitals fan. And I'm like, nah, I'll just wait to watch hockey.
Yeah, third time's a charm,
No, become
I'll
a
bet-
Preds fan with me.
Wait.
Maybe.
Does Atlanta have a hockey team again? Because I remember they had one and they lost it, and they have one. Or do they
Not
have that
right
again?
now.
I think they
But
have
they're
like
talking
a
about
AHL.
coming back.
I think they're finalizing a deal for the arena.
Yeah, that's what Lexi told me.
It's so weird because you'll meet super ultra passionate Atlanta hockey fans, and then it's like, well, did you guys go to the games? Yeah, we went all the time. It's like, why did they leave? Oh,
I can explain all of this. That's a
See,
whole thing I can explain.
I was just never really.
but Lexi, go.
So they first had the Calgary Flames, the Atlanta Flames in the 60s. And then the owner wanted to move them. It was what I remember, it was too expensive or something, and then they moved out. It was literally not the fault of the city. And then they had the Thrashers, and then they had the owner, the Falcons, the Hawks owner, who didn't care about hockey. So he didn't put any money into the team, did not give crap about the team at all, so they moved to Winnipeg. So now it was not the reason is it was not the city's fault. To explain it that the reason they should get a third team, third tries, it wasn't the city's fault. They were never given a fair chance.
Well, my question is, did the team generate money? Because that's probably what it would boil down. I mean, you're not going to invest in something that's not generating money for you. I mean, that would be what I would figure, right? I mean, that's the reason why UAB almost lost their football team. And then all of a sudden the fans showed up and it was like, oh, hey, it's making money. Yeah, football can stay.
Yeah, no
It was
money.
problem due to slumping attendance and ownership problems for both teams that were in Atlanta. So the combination of slumping attendance and really bad ownership not caring about the team led to both teams leaving.
The double whammy of, no, we're not coming because you're the problem. And okay, fine, I'm getting rid of the team because you're not coming.
It's sort of a doom loop at that point.
It was due to
Yeah.
the Thrashers owner not spending any money to improve the team.
Well, because at that point he'd already decided he was selling it because he didn't want to. He felt like rebuilding.
No,
it.
they didn't even. He didn't want to own it to begin with.
And they
He
came
wanted
up with
the
the
Hawks.
most ridiculous campaign ever.
He wanted the
But-
Hawks. He didn't want the Thrashers at all.
Ah,
It was a combo buy.
That makes a lot of sense.
that makes a lot more sense.
Does this person still own the Hawks?
Yes.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Oh, yeah. I never knew what really happened to the Thrashers because I didn't grow up watching hockey that much. So I didn't know. But talk about any other Atlanta team, I probably know. It's just that they just happen, just to go kablooey before I, started being interested in the hockey.
Man, Atlanta getting the hockey team before Houston or Kansas City or Hamilton, Ontario. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Just another team to watch choke again for Atlanta.
Oh, that's good. I love watching Atlanta choke.
Well, moving on, you get to listen to me suffer some more. Because we don't quite know yet who's going to be on the cover of Madden 2025.
Or will be called Madden 25 since they already came out with Madden 25.
I don't know. Nobody
It
cares.
will be called Madden 25.
The important part is there is such a thing known as the Madden curse. And I don't think has been disproven.
That
It is.
curse was broken a long time ago.
Yeah. It broke.
No, not as far as
I
I'm
think
concerned.
Josh Allen reignited it.
Well, and Lamar was on it, right?
Nope.
Not yet.
Lamar
No.
was on it. Yes,
Yeah.
he
It
was.
was.
Yeah, I could have sworn because it was like the year that like he went down, or it was the year after he went down. Maybe
Brady
that's what they've
broke-
decided is that
Brady
they
broke
just.
it.
Oh well, it's Brady. Brady can break lots of things. That's Brady. That's like that's what the B stands for in Brady.
And then Mahomes broke it again. So it's considered broken.
Well, I mean,
That's
It's
a
also-
chip shot. That's a layup. Oh
It's
no.
It's also considered that Antonio Brown took all the curses and took everything combined into one, and he's still holding on to the curse.
that also does make a lot of sense. Antonio Brown was pretty cursed.
But currently, there's a rumor that Joe Burrow will be on the cover of Madden. And maybe that's their whole thing. Is they were like, no, wait, we're not the reason they all get hurt. We'll show up after they get hurt and then put them on the cover. So then you can say that we didn't cause them. Maybe we'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, I'll probably buy one. I don't have an Xbox. or a PlayStation, because like I do PC gaming and stuff, like a grown adult. But like I want to have the cover piece. So like I guess I may buy something so that I can have it. Because I've got a nice little Bengals wall going on. I don't know if you know this or not, but like I was out in Arizona a couple of weeks back, and I came across a charity auction. Like they were having like the silent little charity auction thing. So you just come up and you scan the QR code thing, and you just enter in a bid, and you walk off. Well, the first day I get there, those are like all this crap that I don't want. So I was like, oh look, here's like Dallas Cowboys stuff and Minnesota Vikings signed jerseys and stuff. All right, fine, whatever. I come back in the next day after a day at work, and I go in to ask the lady at the front desk something, and like out of the corner of my eye, I was like, wait a minute, those look familiar stripes. And sure enough, there's a signed Chad Johnson Ocho Cinco jersey signed, and the starting bid was like $150. And I was like, well, I'm not here in Arizona. There's no Bengals fans in Arizona. Like, these people haven't seen running water in years. Like, it's crazy. So I go ahead and do the thing, and like it was eating me up that night because I was like, there's no way I'm the only bid on that. So I come back down on my way out. I look up how much that same jersey was going to cost me at the pro shop at the stadium here for the Bengals, and I was like, okay, I will just put that number in for the jersey and put it in there. That's my final bid. I leave, come home. I'm at Anthro, Ohio, watching hockey with Danny, learning what icing and all that fun stuff means. And I'm asking, why aren't there set plays? Because apparently my basketball bind on this is going, you should do a proper zone. And goes, well, that is a zone. No, that's just a big muddy mess of things on ice. Anyway, I digress. I'm sitting there and I'm watching hockey, and I get a notification, and it says, hey, you have 3 days to respond back to us. You've actually won the bid. I'm like, huh. So go through the process. Sure enough, it shows up. I have it. I got it for under what it cost me. just a Chad Ocho Cinco jersey. But this one has the signature on it. So like I'm thrilled.
Now, does it have Chad Johnson or Chad Ocho Cinco on it?
As far as it's a C Johnson jersey.
Oh, okay.
Like I mean, it's a proper one. Like it's old school. And then he signed the letter or the 85. That's where he signed, and I've got it authenticated and everything. Like it's one of those weird things. Like occasionally Hiltons do this. And the problem is that usually when I'm staying at a Hilton, I'm close enough in radius. There's another Bengals fan that will spend way too much money on team swag than I will, and it ends up being a problem. But I'm out in Arizona. There's not a lot of Bengals fans out in Arizona. So lucked out. Got it. I mean, I got it for under $200. So. Which is nuts, because I know what I paid for my T. Higgins helmet. And that one's going to hurt in about a year. Anyway, as I was saying, yes, it's rumored that Joe Burrow is going to be on the cover of Madden. Moving on. The new NCAA football game. Also, video
this
game.
Is where all attention spans are just like Spurrow, just right here.
So they've removed mascot mode. How do you feel about that? I hear lots of people upset. Those are all the furries in the background angry that they took out the ability for me to have an entire team of cardinal birds out there, pecking the snot of a bunch of like UK players. Anyway, but no, like how do you feel about the removal of mascot mode?
That doesn't affect me. I mean, I'm going to be playing.
A rumor. That's actually a rumor. It's not confirmed that it's gone. That's
even if it was, I like, yeah, I mean, it might be cool and all, but like,
Oh, it's fun.
we got some good football action in that game. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
but like it's better when it's being thrown out of a giant cartoon cardinal head.
I know, but still,
Listen.
I can't complain. It's
I'm
another
pl-
NCAA game.
I'm playing that game so I can take over Maryland football, rebuild it, and make it a national powerhouse. I am not trying to play as Testudo just to throw the ball around. Okay? Like, it's a fun mode, but I'm buying that game for a particular reason. And mascot mode ain't it.
No. I want you now. Here's my point. Here's my counterpoint on this. I just won the national championship, and I did the entire time, all 12 games, in a freaking fursuit.
That is true. It would be pretty cool to see Ugly go running
That's
around.
some pretty big teabagging, trash talking, That's all I'm saying.
Oh wait. Who's your team? What team did you use to win the national championship?
It'd be Louisville, obviously.
Okay, well that's not gonna happen. But we can
I don't have to, buy, I don't
Not
have
in
to.
Maryland though.
I don't have to buy a game to imagine my team winning the national championship.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, we all can't be from the SEC. Okay.
Okay, can we just rewind to I want a Georgia fan from 4 years ago. Because they all get we're never gonna win the national championship. No, Nick Saban.
Well, I guess that's just how rebuilding works.
It's-
We got ours started.
Yeah, yeah. If only Alabama would just pay Kirby Smart.
Listen,
Kirby Smart
man,
money.
we lost to Vandy that season when we were trash. Listen, you can understand how we feel. We lost to Vandy. That's an all-time low. I think it's understandable why Georgia was kind of like that.
Like usually for the SEC, it's Kentucky. Like you lose to Kentucky in football, like it's like that's a pretty good chance. Like if you're on a betting table, Jingles, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, they lost to Kentucky. They're above a 50-50 shot that that head coach is getting fired that year.
It's always if any team loses to Vandy, you literally make sure you
they had a good year. They had a good coach that year, right? That was like when they had Franklin.
I'm trying to remember.
Who?
But
James
still,
Franklin?
it's still Vandy.
Yeah.
It's still Vandy football regardless. Vandy's.
All right, so if Nick Saban came back from retirement and was just like, look, I'm going to spend a year at Vandy.
No.
And cleans the whole clock of the SEC, you all firing your coaches?
That's the thing.
Because the rest of the conferences be hiring.
I'm going to be real with you. Saban, first off, would not do that. And second off, Saban, it would take him a while to. Well, I mean, then again, Vandy didn't
It's Nick Saban.
Vandy did. I will admit, Vandy did not do that bad this past season. But it would still take them a while to rebuild that team. Vandy's got a lot of scraps that they needed to deal with. And has had for a long time.
I guess my issue with that is just you got a portal now. So like all Nick Saban had to done is watch football last year. I mean, like, I want that person on my team. I want that person on my team. I want that person on the team. And there's probably all these superstars that are just sitting there. Right now they're on summer break. They're all enjoying things, and their phone rings. Hi, this is Nick Saban. Dude, you want to come play football for me by chance? And they're all going to go, yeah? Well, great. Come on down to Vandy.
Wow, Vandy has only been to nine bowl games.
And you should see the last time they won a national championship. Let me look at this. Let me look at this.
I knew someone that played football at Vandy. He was dating my cousin, who was a cheerleader at UK, I was like, so what do you guys do? Like when they play? And they're like, well, I mean, obviously we have to see each other at the game. And then hey, she got a free trip down here. I was like, all right.
Wow, they have 6
Alright.
unclaimed national titles. Interesting.
Their latest was 1922.
Okay, well, I wasn't born then.
None of
Hey,
us.
I don't take that away from them. UK's probably got like 8 national champions in that in basketball that they want to talk about. They beat up a lot on the YMCA. That's all I'm saying.
You know,
But
I will give it to him. That is 6 national championships. But that's also the same as Yale saying like we have all these national championships. But yeah, like 1 quadrillion years ago.
wasn't basketball invented in Kansas, and they don't have the most amount of national champions? I mean,
Yeah.
they had a head start. I know their state could beat them for a couple of years.
All right, some Vanderbilt history, because I know that's what the audience really cares about. Vanderbilt University. Their 2 most winningest coaches in modern times, i.e., after 2000. James Franklin of Penn State.
No. Modern times in college football is like 85.
Oh God. Okay. James Franklin of Penn State fame. Yes, that James Franklin took him to 3 bowl games. And Derek Mason, if you know who Derek Mason is, not the receiver Derek Mason, the coach Derek Mason.
Right?
Yeah. Took him to 2 bowl games, lost both of them.
So what you're telling me is more than 50% of their total bowl games?
They are
have come.
4-4-1 in all bowl games. They tied in a bowl game.
This is literally why the only thing that's saving Vandy to be in the SEC is literally baseball.
Look, Vanderbilt exists.
Yes, they do exist in baseball because they've knocked us out 3 times in the World Series.
I mean,
no.
And then they go on to win the national, and you don't feel bad because it's like, I lost to the eventual national championship winner. But like at the same time, if you weren't there.
Look, Vanderbilt is kept around to keep the GPA up for the entire conference. That's the only reason why. Let's be honest.
No,
they do have
that
sick
way.
Uniforms though.
No.
That.
They're around so that the SEC can be like, we stopped playing Division II teams. Hi, Vandy. It's like here's your $250 million.
I'd die
Keep
for
sucking.
Vandy memes. I love Vandy memes. We love Vandy for that reason.
Oh my God.
I mean,
at this point,
You
like
should've-
Vandy's got a more ironclad NDA than Stormy Daniels. You
you should have saw the Georgia Vandy game this past season. We played at Vandy's field. They were still constructing the field while we were playing that game.
Oh God, 2-10, 5-7, 2-. Oh my God, that's so awful.
Hey,
Yeah.
at least the teammates aren't the only ones or like the team itself isn't the only one making construction. You see that field?
See, and
It
I
looks
get
like a D3 field.
See, and I get upset at Maryland football for being just totally mediocre. This is just worse than that. This is bad.
You've never looked at Vandy's stats?
I've never really thought about them.
I
mean, understandable, honestly, because they just reside in the shadows.
Like the GPA joke is not like they are just. It's just it's the nerd the jocks beat up on just to feel good about themselves. And then they don't let the nerd out so that other people can beat up on them, so they can say that they beat an SEC team because they're like, no, that's our SEC team, so we're gonna beat up on him so bad he doesn't get to go out and play with others.
No, but that's the wild thing though. Vandy will come out and play like Vandy. I swear, Vandy is just there to give people trouble more than half of the time though, just like some other colleges.
They're the smarty people
because
so they use their brain when they play football.
Just like Georgia Tech, but if I'm gonna be real, Vandy has given Tennessee a lot of trouble in the past. Like Tennessee will actually like be pretty good, and then Vandy will just come out there and just start playing like aggressive, and they'll trip up Tennessee more than half of the time.
Well, but also it's Tennessee, which every year almost gets beaten by Kentucky. and then doesn't, and then it like if
Tennessee's
you
a
go,
hit or miss. It's
but no,
always
but like it's one of those things where they outclass Kentucky every single year in terms of recruiting talent, and then somehow it's always a close game, and then I don't even want to say 9 times out of 10. I think it's like 900 times out of 901 times they come out ahead. I can't remember. There's been a couple of times when because I remember there were like riots in the streets that I got to see on the news in Lexington, like when they beat Tennessee, and it was like this is the first time, and like, and it's a Kentucky riot, so it's just a bunch of drunk people, and they are showing the people in West Virginia that they don't burn their couches, they carry their couches down the street, like it's a thing. Is college sports? It's wild.
see with you. It's probably you probably don't like a lot of Kentucky fans, right? With me,
Absolutely.
it's either Tennessee, Florida, or Alabama with me, or even Auburn. But Tennessee can be annoying sometimes too because like, well, Tennessee the last time they beat us was in 2016, but that's the only win they'll like bring up as of now because that was the Hail Mary by Joshua Dobbs in Sanford Stadium. Oh my gosh, everything's shocked. But when was that win? Again, 2016. That's what all they'll bring up. That's Tennessee fan nature.
No, you just look at Tennessee. And just say, so when were you relevant that didn't involve the last name Manning?
Oh,
Real.
damn.
And that kind of ends it because like they're there, like they're that nice little middle band of the SEC that Kentucky really wants to be a part of. Like if that's the belt that's holding up the SEC, like Kentucky would just love to be like on the belt buckle over that. But instead, they're like the cargo shorts pocket of the SEC. They're trying to crawl their way up there. They really want to be a part of the top, but like also we're useful. We're here. Like you can put things in us.
Kentucky thinks they're all that, but then they go and play Georgia because like they'll
Yes.
they'll put up a good fight against every team, but when they play Georgia, I will pull up the last 3 seasons of like
They
of
get
all the scores.
squished, and I watch it. Like
It was like
that for me.
55 to, I have to look it up.
That-
It was
that-
like 55 to some.
That is must-watch TV for me. So like that is the stuff I am tuning in, and like I can't like I got my Bengals popcorn bucket, and I'm sitting here just like I can't wait to watch Kentucky get squished.
It was 51 to 13. It was 51 to 13. I remember that game too because Kentucky came in that game hot too. They were winning their games and stuff like that. They were undefeated at this time. They had hot heads and all that stuff, and they thought they were gonna come in our house and like they were like Georgia's been playing bad against Auburn, all these teams. We're gonna come in and just embarrass them, and they're on home, 51 to 13. Yeah, so I have that annoyance of Kentucky fans too, because they always do that. It's just like that's just Kentucky football nature. They'll talk their stuff and then they'll go in the game and just like,
well, there's always basketball season.
yeah, there's always basketball season. That's when they lose. That's when they start saying that. The first time it's like the first game they lose, like that's really bad. Like this one, for example, let's say, oh, we got basketball season.
That's what they always say. As soon as because there's always they start winning, and then they start jawing, and then I got to deal with them like probably around Thanksgiving. But if they haven't had like their squish moment, it's even worse because then they just implode.
What are we talking about?
Kentucky fans.
I will say this much. I think it's Mark Stoops. He's the head football coach at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Football. He's got them there. He's surprisingly built a solid squad for Kentucky football because when you think of Kentucky, you don't
Or Kentucky football.
yeah. It's like I don't think Butch Davis is still at North Carolina. I think he is. But yeah, North Carolina football and Duke football. Like you wouldn't think that they're
North
solid
Carolina.
programs.
No. What's his name out of Texas is at North Carolina now?
Mac Brown.
Yeah, I thought he's still running around in North Carolina, right?
I think so. I'd have to look, but yeah, like
Butch, because like Butch Jones flamed out. Like I don't know where he ended up at, but like he flamed out because he was. I know exactly who he was because wasn't he like head coach of like Cincinnati for a while and then plunked down into Tennessee and then. Well, we've got that Tennessee spirit. Or like he had so many terrible quotes.
God
But-
damn, he's
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
Mark Stoops has made the bowl game since 2016, every single year.
But
Oh,
has he had a 10-win season?
I don't know. Oh, Wikipedia can tell me.
So,
Yeah, it can.
Two times.
At Kentucky.
Twice. Yes.
I can see why Kentucky.
And was one of them a
fans-
bowl win?
Yes.
From
Oh,
both.
he's won. Yes, the Citrus Bowl.
So he's
both.
had 9. He's had 9 win seasons. Which I mean, actually, that's quite impressive for the SEC East. So because what you're getting right now, Bunt, just so you're aware, is that all Angus was focused primarily on Florida, but now they suck, and so they're going to put it on you because they're in a win-win situation, right?
Are you
because
talking about
you-
Kentucky?
Yes. So
you
this,
want me to
this
be
is-
honest?
No. I'm just hang on. Hear me out. So in their viewpoint, it's a win-win situation. So one, they beat you, and then you have to suffer the fact that Kentucky beat you, and that's embarrassing because they're normally crap. That's part one. Part two is if they lose, they'll just remind you that, hey, we'll see you in basketball season, and then they can like go off and basketball away. But yes, go ahead.
The reason why I'll never recognize Kentucky for like as an actual rival in football ever again, or even just as an annoying like fan base, is because it's like Georgia just like every time they talk some Georgia just wipes them off the counter. I literally mean that. We're 63-12 against Kentucky, and where our longest win streak is 14, 2010 through 2023. Largest margin of victory 62-17.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Now I'm wondering if I get to like, okay, Bunt. Do you know who Alabama's stadium is named after?
Wait, ask that again.
Do you know who Alabama's stadium is named after?
All right, is it Bryant Denny Stadium?
Yeah, that first name. That head football coach, Bear Bryant. You want to take a gamble where he got to start?
My brain's turning.
I mean, it's easy guess based off of the conversation we've just been having.
Kentucky?
Yeah. And he was kicking indoors at Kentucky and was rebuilding that program and making it relevant. And apparently the rumor goes when I can't remember the exact specifics of the rumor, but what it was when he reached his certain tenure, they gave him a watch. When the basketball coach reached his certain tenure, they gave him a Cadillac, and he left. Because in Kentucky, college basketball is a religion in Kentucky. Like, it's just a thing. And it's really hard to explain to people that have never, like people will talk about, okay, in the Carolinas, they got the Duke. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you go to a barbershop, if you can't talk about college basketball for like 2 hours while you're stuck in a barbershop waiting to get your stuff done, like you just don't exist in the state. And then everyone just talks about it and they watch it. and it's just a thing. We have this little pocket of just people that just obsess about one sport from one category. Even when we're bad, we'll watch other teams play. You know, even when Louisville's bad, I stopped watching Louisville play, but I watched everybody else play. Like I didn't get any info that I didn't already know watching Louisville play. So all right. Last but not least, do we want to go into the NFL schedule? Just for your teams, just for the teams of the people that are here.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how to feel about the Bengals teams. If you don't mind if I go first, because in this way you guys can talk more. I mean, our preseason, it's fine, whatever. We open with the Patriots, which it's the Patriots, but like there's no Bill there, so I'm feeling pretty confident on that one. And then I'm going to lose my confidence because we're going to play the Chiefs. So, and of course, once again, it's not at home; it's there. And then we get I get to say hi to Lexi. Hi, Lexi. So the question is, Lexi, by the time I get to say hi to you, is Joe Burrow broken again? Or is Joe Burrow functional? Because that's going to be the deciding factor, I think, on that one.
No, y'all are winning that. We're rebuilding. Y'all winning that.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
hope so.
in Cincinnati too.
Yeah, I think so, based off of how I'm reading this.
Well, your over-under is still set at 10.5.
Well, he's not hurt yet. So, yeah, we should have pretty good.
I think our over under is at like 5.
And then we get the Panthers, which, again, rebuild.
Unless they're tossing drinks at you.
Feeling pretty good. Ravens. Won't comment. And then the Giants. Again, rebuild. The Browns are being the Browns. We get the Eagles. We get the Raiders. Chargers. Finally, the Steelers show up. And then we get the Cowboys, Titans, Browns. And then we close out the season against the Steelers. But all in all, like, I mean, I think our non-conference stuff is weird because there's only like 2 games I think that we potentially could lose non-conference again. Unfortunately, it's the Chiefs and the Eagles, I think, are the 2. But I'm not making any predictions on the AFC North because I did that once and it did not work out well for me. Go look at last season just to find out why. All right, Firelocks, what you got for the Saints?
All right, let me get the schedule up. So, excluding preseason, let's see. Carolina, that's a win. Dallas, well, early season Dallas, they always seem to win a lot, and that builds up false confidence. So we probably lose that one. We're facing Philly after that. That's a loss. Atlanta, we're at the Falcons. Oh, we're gonna beat the Falcons. Of course we are.
No, you're not.
Oh, well, you know what? It's fun to dream, Jingles, and that's okay. That's okay. We're losing at Kansas City. Then we got the Bucks. That's a win. Denver's a win. That's a Saints revenge game against their former coach, Sean Payton. We faced the Chargers and their fake fans, and the Panthers again, then the Falcons, then the Browns bye week. And the back half is looking like Rams, Giants, Commies, Packers, Raiders, Bucks. That is actually surprisingly a pretty meh schedule on the back half, save for the Packers. So I
Your
don't know. What's up?
Your over under is set at 7.5.
That's too low. We're gonna win at least 10 games this year.
Jingles, did you keep a tally from our last conversation when we predicted what our over under would be?
No.
Ah, crap. Lexi, you can put this up on screen now.
Yeah,
What our predictions were from because we did one of these a couple podcasts back. Because I think you were putting me at 10.5.
Yeah, but it's still at 10.5. Some market's been fluctuating. Like the Titans went from 4.5 to 6.5. The Patriots is still at 4.5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought we would do an 11 based off of just guessing. And then now that it's seeing the schedule, 11 is doable with us.
provided he stays upright and it's not injured.
Some of these teams we can beat with Browning. No offense.
Wow, Jake Browning's that good? Must be nice.
Man, no
Well-
wonder he didn't leave for State Farm yet.
All right, Bunt. You got your schedule pulled up yet, or should we go to?
Yeah, I gotta put up.
All right. So, what do you think on your schedule, ignoring post or preseason?
Now remember, me and him are both Falcons fans, so we probably go hand in.
No,
All right, so
I just want to see if it differs.
our first 3 games are I honestly, looking at the entire schedule, I think our first 3 games are gonna be the toughest of the season. We got the Steelers at home, and then we got the Eagles at the Eagles, and we got the Chiefs in Atlanta.
Wait, is your opening game against the Steelers?
Yes.
They will either crush you or they will be obnoxiously bad.
See, that's just like with the Falcons.
That's just the Steelers' MO.
Yeah, I get it. It's just more the question is just how are the Falcons gonna do? Because it's like every season it seems like they have some kind of expectations for actually being somewhat of a decent team, and then like it starts out fine, and then it just ends out Desmond Ritter just throwing about like so many picks, even though he's not going to be there anymore.
Well, it's not like you're going into the season with a controversy or anything.
Yeah. Moving on. So, I think Steelers versus Falcons. That one's a tough one. It really just depends, because like you said, the Steelers, they're hit or miss, and the Falcons are hit or miss. But it is a home game, Falcons' first game of the season, and it doesn't. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna go on a bold prediction and say we'll win that one.
All right, keep
We'll
going.
win. Now the Eagles.
Yeah, like which Eagles is showing up? Like, are we gonna see a Super Bowl contending Eagles, or is it gonna be because like that was one of the teams that I thought might give us problems on our non-conference.
Also, keep in mind we're going to the Eagles as well, so that's also a pretty big factor. I think we'll probably lose that one. Chiefs at Falcons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. God, I hate to say it, but like that's also probably gonna be another loss.
All right, next.
The Chiefs are just built to play in like hostile areas a good bit. Saints at Falcons. I feel like we'll win that one. That's just me. Y'all coming into enemy territory at the beginning of the season, especially Atlanta. I have faith. I have faith.
Sty, you got a rebuttal on that one?
What was that? My headphones cut out a bit.
Oh, Saints at the Falcons.
I said that y'all are coming to hostile territory at the beginning of the season in Atlanta. I have
Mhm.
faith that we'll win that one.
Okay, well, I have faith that you'll lose that one.
It'll be settled on September 29th.
How many
Just like we
corn
said before
dogs?
MFF that one time.
Yeah, what's the over under on the corn dogs appearing? 100%.
Huh?
Oh, LSU's got corn dogs. That's a good thing.
And then we have the Buccaneers at Falcons. Oh, that one's gonna be a tough. That one, I think we'll pull out. I think we'll pull out.
Oh, I think that's going to be a loss
It-
for you. But
Listen, I feel like the Buccaneers and the Falcons, they play close games. Like, I get, like, even when they're, like, not, like, even when they're outmatched, they'll play close games.
Yeah.
So, I'll say we'll win that one. Now, us to the Buccaneers, like, playing at their stadium, I know it just seems like, a whole thing of, like, home field advantage and all that stuff, but, like, the Falcons like to, win one game against, a division rival, and then they'll lose the other after leading that one game against the Saints.
no, see, you got to do the Bengals thing where you just wait till the end of the season when it doesn't matter, and that's when you get to win your your divisional game. All right, what do you got next? What's after that?
Panthers win at Panthers win. Seahawks at Falcons.
Yeah, I probably would have chalked that one up for a win for you guys because I think the Seahawks are in for a bad season. Now watch, like Lexi will keep this clip and then use it against me when like the Seahawks magically show up in the Super Bowl.
It was at this moment that he knew he effed up.
Yeah.
Falcons Bucks. I count that one.
What do you got?
You know
do you
what?
got after that?
Win. I'll say we'll win. Both
You think so?
games against the Bucks. Cowboys at Falcons. I think Cowboys, sadly, may win that one.
Yeah, I purposely avoided doing divisional predictions because it was a rough year this year. So, but
Falcons Saints at the Saints. They'll probably win that one. Chargers at Falcons win.
Yeah.
Falcons at Vikings. I'll say a loss.
I mean, to put it in college perspective, like at this point, the Chargers are Vandy, but they do have Harbaugh. So that one super fan might make a difference.
Falcons at Raiders win. Giants at Falcons win. Falcons at Commanders.
Ooh. You should
You know
travel
what?
for that
Just
game.
because Lexi's here, I'm gonna say win. I'm gonna say win. Like I that one's gonna be kind of a tough one, but like, I'll say win.
Save that clip,
Just 'cause you're here.
Lexi. just in case.
And Panthers at Falcons will win.
Or are you in agreement?
I would like to rebuttal to my teammate. You forgot the 3 key factors in the first 5 weeks. All right, actually 4 of the 5. But the Steelers won. Most underrated game of week 1. Bunch of storylines. Arthur Smith comes back to Atlanta as the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. Well, who's going to be the quarterback? Russell Wilson, or they're going to do a 2-quarterback system with the Steelers with Justin Fields? How is Kirk Cousins going to be connecting with Drake London, and are we just going to see the return of Kyle Pitts? And once and for all, we're going to unleash Bijan Robinson. It's going to be the huge understory in week 1. Week 2, the Eagles return from Sao Paulo as their first official home game on Monday night. Monday night, that's Kirk Cousins' kryptonite right there. It says it's prime time. You forgot to say that, Blunt. It's on Monday night. That's in Philly.
I did forget to. I did
Week-
forget to think about that one.
Week 3, Sunday Night Football at home. Another kryptonite for Kirk Cousins right there. Primetime game against Patrick Mahomes.
I love it.
I mean,
am enjoying this.
I'm facing the
immensely.
facts. Hope you know. Okay, I'm wearing no hat right now. Okay, I'm Rob Paulin with wearing the NFL logo hat. That's why I am right now. Against the Chiefs though, week 3 at home, there's a viable chance. All depends if Taylor Swift is there or not.
I really doubt we'll win that one. Honestly, that's just me.
Week 4, the Aints come to town. You like that? I give that a win to us. Week 5 is a short week. Week 5, Thursday Night Football. Another
No.
kryptonite for
Someone
Kirk
getting hurt.
Cousins. Al Marcos will be like, oh, great, another Kirk Cousins game. And the third and second is incomplete. Why are you throwing it right there?
Well, my quick question: do you think Kirk Cousins is going to finish as your starting quarterback at the end of the year?
Yes. We're not rushing Penix.
But you don't think that Kurt's going to get hurt, and then okay. There's a lot of short turnarounds. That's
Yes,
all I'm saying.
I know. I know his Achilles is fine. All right.
See,
Damn
real
it.
quick,
What's that?
real quick, Jingles. I know that past thing with Kirk Cousins, going on, but what if it just somehow, new team, just doesn't happen? No more curse. It could possibly happen. Who knows? Nobody knows. I mean, like Atlanta could just come out and shock the water, or they could just be dog water again. But
The question is the way that Cousins is adapting to the West Coast offense that we're running. He seems comfortable in it. So I can actually see him winning a primetime game or two. All right.
yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it, and I'm not gonna doubt it. But it's just kind of hard. I feel like it's kind of a hard, thing to to say for us before the season. It's just we got to really see how it does.
And then, hang on. Oh, let me go on Amazon and order a rain poncho because we're going to Carolina. Make sure you got your rain ponchos and umbrellas ready because David Tepper might throw drinks at you.
Oh.
I give us that win. I agree with you, Equino, about the Seahawks. You don't know what Geno Smith you're going to get almost halfway through the season. With all these rumors of be trade bait for DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. There could be trade bait at the trade deadline. So that's who will impact Seattle the most. Then we're at Tampa. Since we say we will beat Tampa at home, that Tampa's going to beat us. I see Mayfield and Evans going the F off on us, throwing at least 120 and 2 touchdowns against us in that game at home. To be fair, this is how Evans has been against our defense. Then we host the Cowgirls at home. The question is Mike McCarthy still the coach? Just being fair, is Mike McCarthy still going to be the coach?
Yes.
Okay, then we're going to win that game. All right, because Dan Quinn's defense has been run so down into the ground that everyone knows the defensive schemes. Then we go to the Bayou to play those stupid Aints again. I'd say that they will win that one. We always split the home and home with them. But it all depends is how's Carr? Is that car still running?
Yeah, Carr will still be there.
Well, it's in New Orleans. So it could have been stolen.
Or
Well, I mean, they get stolen.
or you got flood damage, from the hurricane.
Oh no!
But we're coming
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
Like we got the Broncos late in the season too. So like my prediction on the Broncos and whether or not we win or lose against them is really going to depend on what I see out of the Broncos. because they're in the middle of a rebuild too. So like they could surprise us as well.
And speaking of rebuilds, we got the Chargers. They're going to be a completely different team. No wide
Harbaugh.
receivers. Yeah. How Harbaugh got that team going into December. How does he got hit that team ready with no wide receivers and an aging running back with a downgradable offensive line? How is that going to be sustainable going into December? Then this game should have been in prime time. This game should be flexed in, but I don't see it because the following week we got a Monday night game. But we're at Minnesota. The return of Kirk Cousins to Minnesota. Why is that not Sunday Night Football? You know what I mean? But it's on Fox. And it's a 1 p.m. game. Kirk Cousins is going to win that game. Week 15, we're at New Orleans. We're at the Raiders for a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Yeah, I don't know why they put the doubleheader so late in the season. It's week 15. But we're at the Raiders. That's a win for us. Did we get dating times in the G-Men? Wait a minute. Dan Roller just retired. Is dropping his 20th disc set. Great. There goes his career. That's a win right there. Then we go to Washington. Is there anything cool going on in Washington?
Well, they bought a whole new team.
Well, the Defenders went like 3-9 this year.
Yeah, it all depends on which one we get.
They got a whole new team. I mean, we sat there and covered that during the the cap situation a couple of weeks ago. So,
but anything can happen.
Then we host the Carolina Panthers, who is coming in hopefully winless. That'd be great. Hope the winless Cats. 0-17. And over-unders at 9.5. I like it to get at least 10. So I'll go over.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, or on the TikToks, pretend we're dancing or something. I don't know, because apparently we're on there now. In the meantime, we will see you back on the next episode. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later.